Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, founder of the Circle of Grace One, and I'm on here this evening, coming through one of my other platforms. I want to make some announcements, some things that I'm doing, and one of the first and foremost things that I'm doing is to let everybody know that I've come out with a brand new book. I have 5 books out on Amazon, and this is my 5th book, Decree and It Shall Be. Subtitle is Speak as I Am. This is based on one of my intensive training courses called the 5-Point Creative Pathwork System. We were going to go live with it by next Wednesday, but we're going to cancel it off. But it still has an open-ended date for anybody who wants to still study that particular intensive training program with me. So it's the 5-Point Creative Pathwork System. And if you'd like to know more about it, send me an email to iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com or go to my website, www.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end.us, and put your information in the contact form, or you will go into the longest link that you see there that says 5-Pointed Creative Pathwork System. And so you can find out more information about that. Now, one of the things I also want to say here is that I'm developing and have developed many training courses over the years. And I've been in this field since about 1974. So I'm always doing and rebuilding and refashioning teaching things. Subject matters. So right now I'm working on another book, which is called The Key to Life is Numerology. And I'm looking forward to getting that book done before the year is out. What is unique about that book is that I've been a numerologist for a long time. It's one of my first loves in the spiritual, metaphysical, romantic art fields. And it's been a joy doing numerology charts for various people. People have got them connected to businesses, relationships, partnerships, best times to move, or what has been a better city for them to be in. But I have a great announcement that on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., August the 25th, and I guess this was the divine grace coming into play because I was supposed to start my 5-Point Creative Pathwork System teaching program on the 25th of this month, but I'm tabling it and I'm going to come out with it a little later, and it's going to be made available for people to do one-on-one with me or small groups online. But on Wednesday, there's a gift for all of you who follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn. Okay, and that is my good longtime friend of 39 years almost, or 38 years. We go way back, 40, maybe about 43 years. Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn, world-renowned astro-numerologist, is going to be interviewing myself on his Facebook and Periscope page called Live with Lloyd at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, August the 25th. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you live in the Central Time Zone, it'll be 6 p.m. If you live out here in New Mexico like I am, it will be 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or if you're on the West Coast, it'll be 4 p.m. We will probably be on for about at least 45 minutes to an hour long, or maybe even longer. Lloyd and I haven't done this in quite some time, so it's going to be a great joy that I'll be interviewed by him. We're going to talk about numerology. We're going to answer people's questions. People will be sending him questions in about their date of birth, what their destiny number means, or their favorite numbers. And I have my own take when it comes to gemstones and numbers. There are some traditional things, but I like to go with my gut feeling for what a person needs at a specific time. And so sometimes you might say I'm dealing with a non-traditional perspective of numerology and gemstones. So that's going to be Wednesday, August the 25th at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook. If you're on Periscope, you'll see it there, and it's going to be a great time. I'll be talking to his audience of students and other fellow numerologists around the country. And this is a great thing because Lloyd has been a pioneer in this field since about 1981. In fact, dating back longer because he was first an astrologer who then got into numerology, and he combines the two together. And so this is going to be unique that you're going to have he and I doing this together, but we'll be engaging with many of his students and my students and clients who will be tuned in on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, August the 25th. Now, I've got some other aspects and things that I'm working on, and one of them is I just started in the month of August here on Tuesday night, August the 10th. I started a free online enrichment training program where I take one specific topic and I teach you about that specific topic and all the things that are connected. So, as an example, on Tuesday, August the 10th, I took some students on board and I discussed the power of meditation and how to utilize meditation in your life. And I talked about the benefits of meditation. Well, on Tuesday, September the 14th, I'm going to go into a little bit of my Creative Pathwork meditation series. And you're going to learn how to do the white light meditation shielding technique that I've developed over the years, and I've been utilizing it since the late 70s, going into the 80s and 90s, coming right into the present time. And then you're going to learn how to use a pink light meditation, followed by a gold light meditation. And each one of these will be guided meditations. Now, the reason I start out with guided meditations is because not everybody can step right into a silent meditation. So by using a guided meditation, and I'm not somebody who uses hypnosis, I just know how to modulate my voice to take you where you need to go. And so you will learn guided meditation, the white light guided meditation, which is really the white flame, followed by the pink light, which is the pink flame. And the pink flame is really for emotional wellness, you see, and creating balance for yourself in your life. And then the gold light meditation, which is the gold and yellow flame meditation, is for strengthening the body and the mind. So you're going to get this experience. All you got to do is sign up with me. Email me at iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com. So you can get on board, get this information, and be in my email list so that you can stay up to date, because this is a once a month free online training program. So I have over 40 different topics that I can introduce to you, and I can simplify them enough so that you can understand them. And this is a great way for you to get to know me and the things that I'm interested in and the things I want to share with you and teach with you. So I want you to be able to get that opportunity. Well, one of the things I want to do is, again, I want to show you some of the different books. So I just showed you Decree and It Shall Be. This was my 5th book, just came out on Amazon. It goes for $12. It's about 66 pages, but it's very potent. I teach you in here the 5 points, but in this book, I call the 5 points the 5 vessels. Vessels and points are the same, which I'll show you how to understand an affirmation and how to use an affirmation for yourself. I'll show you the intricacies of the meaning, emotional meanings that you need when you do prayers, and then how to combine those two together and create affirmative prayers so you can give yourself a spiritual treatment. Then I also talk about in this book the importance of meditation. Meditation is highly important, and people are talking about meditation more now than any other time. In the last 40 years, people have been talking about guided meditations, silent meditations, and why meditation is important. Well, you begin to learn about that in this specific book. Now, also, then I take you into how to activate a decree for yourself. And so in this book, you learn all of these, how to work them, how to activate them in your life using meditation, because they all go together. Yes, there are points, but they are also vessels, and you're a vessel of the universe. So you want to learn how to pour out the energy of the soul and the spirit and the sun energy into your life and to make gradual changes so you can have a better life. Well, that's in this book here. The book prior to that book that I brought up, excuse me, was the Age of Remembrance, which is the divine I am presence and selenite. And this, by the way, the cover is of a selenite tabula that I have right in my home. And it picks up on the cover some of the guardians that are in the Pacific tabular selenite that I have. Well, I talk about my experiences and how I walked in, or how selenite walked into my life, and how it helped change my life and made it much better. Then I also talk about and that's book number 5 and 4. The book before number 4 was this book, book number 3, which is The Gift, which is the wisdom of Nefertiti. And this is my experience. Many people have their experiences in ancient Kemet at the time with Akhenaten. But I had it with Akhenaten and Nefertiti in their solar ministry, how they dealt with the great central sun's energy. They also worked with selenite too back then, how they had them throughout the pyramids. And they speak of how that's why the pyramids seem to last so long. And they also use them in the obelisks. And the obelisks are like antennas. And so I used this book, and this book was channeled. Just did it in about 2 weeks. Received that information from Nefertiti. And then book number 2 was The Wisdom of Akhenaten as I Am. And you see here the word as I am is used several times. Now, why is that? Because the I am that I'm speaking of is the divine presence of I am, which many of us refer to as God of the universe, or goddess energy of the universe. And he's allowed me to spell his name this way to breathe life back into his name. And Akhenaten and Nefertiti were dealing with the galactic great central sun. It's not Alcyon, but it's called the blue star in the heavens, which is Sirius, Sirius. And so you want to know that and how these came together. And so these 2 books are channeled. This one talks about the path of the cobra, which also gives you a hint of why the pharaohs had 1, 2, or 3 cobras on their headdress. And then, of course, the very first book that I wrote back in 2017. Yes, I wrote a book back in 2017, actually in 2004. And then I revised it in 2017, and that's Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. And it talks about how I got into this path. It talks about how my spiritual mother, who was also my biological mother, was my first spiritual teacher. And she talks about the 12 points in here and how these 12 points affect our lives. And I talked about the different experiences that she had presented to me. And the 12 things that she mentioned were: 1, there are no accidents in our lives; 2, all people and other living things are connected to each other; 3, our repetitive and accumulative thoughts actually become manifested as experiences. We create all of it. 4, the spirit world is real. These are the things that she taught to me as a child, going right into college and after college. 5, death is transitional and a vehicle into the spirit world. 6, the veils between the material and physical world and the psychic, intuitive, spiritual worlds are very thin. 7, the spirit world is accessible to all of us. She mentioned that number 8, we choose to be awakened from our spiritual slumber. 9, much of all of our past, present, and future lives are pre selections before incarnations. 10, divine grace actually occurs in our lives, and we need to become more aware of its presence. 11, our lives, as transformed by divine grace, are a gift from divine providence, which she says God or goddess to all of us. And 12, the key to the realization of the blessings of divine grace is remembrance. So these things were very important that she spoke about and that she taught to me step by step by step. And it wasn't taught to me overnight. And so, it was a glorious time in my life. I was allowed to have a childhood. I was out there playing like other children, but behind closed doors, I was giving some spiritual awarenesses and teachings to develop myself. And at the time, I didn't even know what she was really talking about, but in her own way, she was giving me these teachings. And then once I got into college and my third eye opened up, then I began to go a little deeper. And she talked about dreams and she talked about prayers, and we would be writing each other back and forth. So you might say I was supplementing my college education as an art major, learning about spiritual matters. And once I got out of college, she was able to allow me to meet many of her friends. And so I wanted to bring these announcements out to all of you here and to anyone that may be following this on YouTube right now on my channel, or if you're on LinkedIn, or if you're on Facebook. This is an opportunity to get this information. Why? Because there's so much stuff that's going on in the world. We know there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, and many of us have an opportunity to impact it. But we want to impact it in such a manner that it's not, let's say, making our own lives crazy and ungrounded. Okay. Now, there's some other things I just want to mention briefly. If you know somebody who has an interest in what I am teaching, be sure to refer them to me so I can find out what it is that they want to learn. I mean, there's so much stuff that's out here, and I have a lot of material I want to share with a lot of people. So I'm going to be doing these different podcasts off and on like this, and I'm going to try to be more uh, on a regular basis. I just have not been able to get it to that point. But I want people to realize that I'm here for you. I want to share these teachings. And yes, there'll be a fee for a lot of the classes and courses, but a lot of them will be taught to you freely. So you're going to have opportunities to come online and study with me. I'm going to teach numerology. I'm going to teach dream analysis. I'm going to teach you how to do lucid dreaming. I'm going to teach you how to do also what is called astral traveling, or better yet, soul traveling. There's so many things I want to share with many of you who are seeking this information. So I want you to bear with me, like the bear, and ask questions. That's very important. And how can you get in touch with me? Well, again, you can email me, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey, at iam.circleofgrace with the number 1 at the end at gmail.com. Now, you can also email me the same way at yahoo.com, iam.circleofgrace1 at yahoo.com. That's my secondary email. You can always give me a call at 505-349-4722, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, if you need to get in touch with me right away, make sure you email me as well as call me. and do leave a message. Even though I'm an intuitive psychic person, I still want to hear your name, first and last name. And if you're shy about giving your last name, give me your first name. Give me a phone number which I can call you back on, or just give me an updated email so we can start communicating back and forth. And I can find out what it is that you want to study. I'm offering a lot of classes. And again, I have put together two intensive training programs, the 5 point creative pathwork system that's connected to that book, Decree and It Shall Be. And I'm almost complete with it. It's called White Light Meditation 7.0. White Light Meditation 7.0. And I'm going to show you not only how to do the white light meditation, but how to do it in different ways for yourself, and how to incorporate guided meditations so you can get yourself to the point where you can experience silent meditation. Because there's a way that you have to go into it. You just can't go into it any old kind of way. Because if you do, it'd be like falling down a shaft with no bottom to it. So you want to take your time. And see, not many people can sit quietly enough to go deep enough in themselves to begin to hear the messages in the spirit world coming from through them as their higher self, or angel presence energy, or archangel present energy, or planetary spiritual beings, okay, as well as your immediate family members. There's so much more deities that you could plug into. So, but you have to know how to sit quietly, sit properly, and breathe. That's very, very important. So, I want to make sure that many of you are getting these messages, getting these teachings. And again, I want to make sure, so whenever you see, if I put something out there on the internet, be sure, if you want just information, you can tell me that. I'll be more than happy to share the information with you. I want to help you. And this is an amazing time, even though it's a difficult time, but we can intend a better life for ourselves. We can intend peace in the world, right? Peace in families. We can help cut down the vibration of negativity in the world just through the power of meditation, guided meditation, as well as silent meditation. Again, I want to be there to help you. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I'm founder of the Circle of Grace One. I'm the chief principal teacher of it. The Circle of Grace One is the Circle of Divine Grace and Remembrance. And I have these wonderful books. You can purchase these books. Again, you can get them from Amazon.com. You can go right on Amazon and get these books, see? But in a couple of months, in a month or two, I'm going to have them right here in case you get them from me, order from me for the same price. Let's say, for example, The Wisdom of Akhenaten as I Am is a paperback, and The Gift as a paperback. Both of these are $11.11. Well, what if you wanted to get this particular book, which is The Age of Remembrance? This book is $11, and it talks about the use of selenite. This book is $12. Decree and It Shall Be, Speak as I Am. Or you might want to purchase this book from me, and I'll have them all here with me, Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. And this sells for $25 as a paperback book. And like I say, I'm coming out with more books in the next couple of months. Numerology, I'm going to be talking about unconditional love, and many other things that you can get. Well, I'm going to sign off right now. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. My grace is your grace. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. See you soon, and take good care of yourself.